DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Topic of this video is make sure we are making the most of every moment. The good thing about the world that we're in today, I mean, we got challenges, of course, always, but one of the good things about especially the technology that we have is that it's easy for us to do more than one thing at the same time. And I don't mean multitasking in the traditional sense, the way people talk about it, like you're checking your email and you're reading something at the same time. I don't mean that kind of multitasking where you're supposed to be working but you're checking social media. I don't mean that kind of thing. What I mean is, for example, when you're driving, you could be listening to a podcast, or when you're doing the laundry or washing dishes, you can be consuming an audiobook, which means for all of us, we need to make sure that we're taking that normal dead time, or what some people call no extra time, but actually is extra time, and using that time to do something that's going to help move us forward. So if you don't have time to sit down and read books, well, now we got audiobooks. And I'm a type person who 10, 15 years ago, somebody told me that they read an audiobook. I wouldn't even consider that really reading the book. But now, that's a normal accepted thing. And most of the books that I consume these days, I do consume them via audio. So you can take the time and read an audiobook, and the time it takes you to drive to work every day and drive home, you can read a whole audio. You can read 3 or 4 or 5 books a month that way. You can listen to your favorite podcast, hopefully if it's something that's actually giving you some actual substance. And this general point that I'm making here, regardless of what it is making sure that you're using the time that you have to do something that's helping move you forward. And I just talked about this in an episode of my podcast. It didn't come out yet. But the basics and the fundamentals. Anything that you want to be great at, you need to find out what the basics and the fundamentals of them are. And those are the things that you should be consuming material on. So whatever it is you want to master, you need to be consuming the material in that space. It's going to help you be the best that you can be in that thing. What is that? I don't know what it is for you. I might know what it is depending on what you are doing, but if you're an entrepreneur, for example, it's basically 5 things. I laid out 4, and my guy Alex Sharpman, he jumped in and dropped the 5th one, which is it's identifying the need. Second is creating or getting access to the solution. Third is letting people know that you have it. Fourth is creating the exchange, and the 5th is delivery, giving them whatever it is that they need. If you're an entrepreneur, those are the 5 things you should be mastering. You should be reading books on these things. You should be listening to podcasts on them. You should be taking courses on them. These are the things you need to be mastering, even if you're hearing someone share or talk about it in a way that you kind of pretty much get it, what they're saying. They're maybe talking at a level that's a little bit, you already kind of got that before. Sometimes the refreshment is what you need. Somebody might drop just one thing in the process of giving you that refreshment that you hadn't thought of before, or maybe you forgot about, or they're saying it in a different way that gives you a different perspective on it that might help you perform it a little bit better than you were before. The whole point being, we need to be using every single minute that we have, every opportunity that we have, to make sure we're making the most of our opportunities out here in life. Whether that's, if I wasn't right now recording this video while I'm driving, you know what I'll be doing? I'll be listening to something that would help move me forward, which I'm going to be doing when I get to where I go, because I'm about to take a walk with my son in Miami Beach, and we know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be listening to some audiobook probably. I just finished the audiobook this morning. I'm going to be listening to another one, or I'm going to be listening to a podcast. Why? Because every minute we need to be making use of to move ourselves forward. I'm making the use of it now by producing, but then I'm going to make the use of it by consuming material that's going to be helping me. And keeping in mind, the reason why all this matters, folks, is that we don't have unlimited time. Our time is limited. The age that you're at right now, there are people who have not made it that far. They didn't think that they wouldn't make it that far, but they didn't make it that far. And the point of that is you accepting and being conscious about the fact that you don't have forever to get to becoming that person who you want to be. You need to have a clear vision of who that person is, hold it in your mind, focus on that, and as you're focused on it, make sure you're taking the actions that are becoming of that individual so that you can actually grow into that vision that you're holding in your mind. You got to be taking the actions to follow the being. So it's the being is the vision of who you want to be. The doing are the actions, and having is going to be the outcomes, the results of the things that you want in life. And when you have that clear vision, it'll be easy for you to make decisions about what you need to be doing next. And since we're talking about it right now, this is exactly what I mean. Who do you want to become as a person, and what actions would that person be taking to become that individual right now? Not 3 weeks from now, not 3 years from now, not someday, but right now. What needs to change, and where do you need to step your game up? Where do you need to improve your knowledge? Where do you need to improve your execution? We need to improve just the way you're thinking about things. Right? These are all legitimate questions that you need to be addressing, and the better you address them, the better chance that you actually get to becoming this person before your time runs out. Understanding that everybody's time eventually runs out. So with that said, everybody, y'all know what y'all need to do. All right, I just gave you the prescription, and it's not like I'm telling you something that you don't know anything about. This is not completely brand new knowledge, right? But are you executing on it? That's the thing you really need to be thinking about. So with that said, text me and let me know you want to get my daily motivation text that I send for free every single morning to everybody in my text community. My number to get my text, just number for you to text me so you can get my text, is 305-384-6894. And Work on Your Game University. That is where you can get coached by me on 4 pillars of the Work on Your Game philosophy, which is mindset, strategy, or the Work on Your Game system. Mindset, strategy, systems, and execution. That is for your personal and your professional development. And the only place you can get coached directly by me is in the university. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. You can hop on a free call with us. You can get access to all the trainings and the courses for your individual at your own pace consumption if you want to do that as well. It's all at workonyourgameuniversity.com. Link and the number to get the text both down below in the description. Work on your game. Dre all day.